Psychology of Gen X, born between 1965 and 1980. Gen X had the highest rate of latchkey children in U.S. history, kids who returned home to empty houses daily. This forced solitude rewired their psychology into deep self-reliance. Psychologists describe this as autonomy as a survival strategy, not a preference, but a necessity that became a permanent personality trait. Around 40% came home alone by age 10, and that kind of independence doesn't just fade away. Research by Twenge and Campbell, 2008, found Gen X scores significantly higher on distrust of authority than any other living generation. They witnessed Watergate, corporate layoffs, the Cold War, and AIDS, all before adulthood. Their skepticism is not pessimism, it is pattern recognition built from lived experience. In fact, they hold the highest institutional distrust of any generation. A 2021 study in the Journal of Adult Development found Gen X showed the highest emotional resilience scores when facing economic stress, outperforming both boomers and millennials. Because they were never shielded from hardship as children, their nervous systems adapted to tolerate uncertainty far more effectively. But there's a hidden cost. The 2023 Gallup Wellbeing Report revealed Gen X has the lowest life satisfaction scores of any generation, despite having more life experience and stability than millennials. The reason is subtle but powerful: they were conditioned to suppress dissatisfaction, not process it. "I'm fine" became both their armor and their prison. Gen X is also known as the sandwich generation, caught between aging boomer parents who need care and millennial or Gen Z children who still depend on them. Over 47% report feeling emotionally invisible in both family and workplace dynamics. This dual burden creates a kind of chronic psychological stress that often goes unnoticed, even by themselves. At the same time, Gen X is the only generation that fully lived in both the analog and digital worlds. They wrote letters and then adapted to email, used paper maps and then GPS. This created extraordinary cognitive flexibility, the ability to adapt to rapid change without losing their sense of identity. During their childhood, divorce rates peaked, exposing many Gen X kids to family breakdown at an early age. This often forced premature emotional maturity, becoming caretakers of their parents' feelings before they even understood their own. And as adults, this can show up as a deep discomfort with emotional dependency. In the workplace, Gen X developed a pragmatic mindset: work hard, expect nothing, and deliver anyway. Studies consistently show they are rated highest for reliability and lowest for workplace drama. They don't chase validation, they just get things done. And because they were raised before social media and constant comparison, Gen X developed a psychology largely independent of external approval. Research shows they experience lower social comparison stress and are less likely to change themselves based on public opinion, a trait strongly linked to long-term mental well-being. Yet despite all this, psychologists often call Gen X the forgotten generation. Overshadowed by boomers before them and millennials and Gen Z after them, their needs are rarely discussed in media, therapy, or workplace wellness programs. This creates a quiet identity gap, something many feel, but struggle to name. So now I want to ask you, which generation do you belong to? And did you recognize yourself, or someone close to you in this? If this made you reflect, or helped you understand people a little deeper, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more psychology content. Because Gen X didn't just survive change, they adapted to it, often alone. And maybe, that's both their greatest strength, and their deepest wound. They don't complain, they don't ask for help, but Gen X might be the most silently struggling generation alive. Before therapy, before awareness, there was Gen X, a generation forced to figure everything out alone. They became strong too early, and now they don't know how to stop being strong. Gen X didn't learn independence, they were pushed into it, and it changed them forever.